guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Erin and I do mostly budgeting videos like the one you're about to see here. This is probably the wrong day for this, but I just couldn't wait, and I'm not as concerned with kind of flipping around or changing around the content subject for the days of the week, just so I get everything in 1 week. So if you're wondering what I'm talking about, I did a content planner for the month of January where I'm uploading a video every single day during this month, and I had different subjects for different days of the week. And just as things are progressing and changing, I wanted to be able to have the flexibility to switch things up. And if I want to do more of a budgeting video on a goals day or a scheduling day, I want to be able to do that. But just rest assured that I'm going to have the same type of videos every week. They just may be out of order, or there may be additional videos. I think I'm going to be uploading this one on Monday along with my other video, my plan with me. But anyways, let's just jump right into this. I know that when I started up my channel again, actually it was last month, that I talked about only wanting and being able to manage one sinking fund, because when I used to do sinking funds, they just got to be a little bit too overwhelming, and there was money going in all kinds of directions. And not that it wasn't organized in front of me, tangibly I could see the money, and it was in the envelopes just right in front of me, but I tended to want to boost up my savings, so I started to take money from this fund because I wanted this fund to grow faster, and it just didn't make a whole lot of sense. And I thought, why don't I just do one blanket fund that is an umbrella for all my money that I'm saving? But since things have changed even more recently, this is a very fluid channel. Since things have changed even more recently, I've decided that I do want to segment my funds, because now I have different goals that I'm saving for. So if you're curious, I'm going to explain everything, but you guys saw that I recently picked this up from Amazon, and I said in that video, I think I had bought one of these before, or I thought I had bought one of these before. And what I didn't like is that the magnet closure is very flimsy. And so when you start to put envelopes in here, it does not want to close. So I took out the envelopes that it came with because they had big bulky zippers. They were like the Ziploc that came with the hard plastic zippers. I took those out because they were just making it, stand open too much, and then this didn't want to close. Well, it could close, but the magnet wasn't strong enough to hold it. So what I did is I took some envelopes that I had made myself a long time ago, and I hole punched them. Now as you can see, there's too many hole punches for the binder, but it does still fit perfectly, and that's the only way I could get it to work. I just got out this Agenda 52 from Hobby Lobby, and it is a 6-hole punch, but the way they lined up, and I didn't want to fuss with it. I could have taken this apart and maneuvered, the distances, but I didn't want to do that. So I punched it this way, and then I flipped it and punched it this way, and now they fit perfectly in here. So we're good. So I got out some old envelopes that I had originally made, and that's going to keep this a lot more slim and able to be held close. I have a bunch of money here, and I say a bunch because it's out of order. I had gone to the bank last week, and I also stopped at the ATM more recently, and then I took out the $320 that was in my original fund. The $320 that was actually written down as $310. I don't know if you caught that video, but that was so funny because I even caught myself during the video counting the money, and I'm like, wait, it's not 310, it's 320. And then I went right into my budget notebook and I wrote 310 anyway. It was so crazy. So this is my budget notebook, and I'll show you that page first because that money is in there. I just lumped everything together, and I thought we would organize it together. So this is a tool notebook cover, in case you're just wondering about the front of it. But this is one of my printables, which I am going to be hopefully getting a ton of printables uploaded onto my Etsy shop by the end of this week. I know some of you had asked about them. They are coming, and hopefully by the end of this week, and then I will give a link, and if you guys are interested, they're all going to be downloadable, and they're all going to be like $2. I don't know. Is $2 too much? Is it enough? I don't even know. I'm so out of the loop when it comes to Etsy anymore. So let me know down in the comments, what is a fair price for a designed printable? So I would be curious. This is my major sinking funds goal, which I'm still going to keep. So it's going to kind of still be my main savings, but if you're just curious, well, here's where I wrote 310 in a previous video. These are my goals over here. So $10,000, $0 starting point, and then 12 months. So it's kind of a challenge and a goal, but this is where I'm going to be keeping track of that overall, because that fund is very important, because it's also going to serve, you know, if I have an emergency or, you know, if something crazy comes up. But the reason why I wanted to have different funds, and let me tell you what it's all going to involve, is because I have different categories where I'm probably going to be spending. I talked to you guys a lot about, well, if you're curious, these came with the binder, and I'm going to use them. I talked a lot about, should we stay in our house and try to pay it down aggressively, which I did upload a video a couple days about. If you're interested, I have some figures that were created or formulated by the Dave Ramsey early mortgage payoff calculator, and there's a link to that calculator in that video description. So if you're interested in that, check it out. But I did decide to take everyone's advice, not just you guys here on this channel, but my family, and they were all in agreement. Stay where you're at. It's not a buyer's market. So even though you are also going to be selling your house, you're also going to turn into a buyer. So that's not easy. But just stay where you're at, try to pay it down, and do some renovations. And honestly, the renovations that we're doing isn't just like cosmetic stuff. It's necessary. But we had a contractor come out and talk to us about you know, what our possibilities are as far as kitchen and bathroom. And so he is going to be getting back to us this week. He actually said today, but we haven't heard from him. It might, I don't know, who knows. But he's like, oh, you know, if you want to get on the schedule and you want this to be done by summer. And which I'm sure he's not exaggerating about the time that it takes and people being on a waiting list. But he's like, we have to make a decision quick. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's going to really be dependent on what you come back with. I mean, I'm sure, you know, I respect people's fairness and what things cost. Remember this bill? This is, like I said, I threw the original sinking fund money into here. Why these margins? It's so weird. It looks fake. But anyways, so we'll see what he comes back with. But I talked about this in my video where I was explaining it. I think he's just going to be out of our league. I do. The first thing I said to him was, we are not interested in custom cabinetry. That's the first thing that I said to him. And then he came back to me and said, well, I'm a cabinet maker. I was like, here we go. So, and what he does is he also sources the contractors that do the rest of the work. So basically, he's just a cabinet maker, which is great. And, you know, I'm sure I know he does excellent work. He showed us photos and he had testimonials and references. But at the same time, that was literally the first thing I said, because I'm not a custom cabinetry kind of girl. I'm like, you know what? I see that at Lowe's. I see that at IKEA. Great. Love it. Let's have somebody install it. So basically what I was looking for was some renovation contractor work with installation, not measure my kitchen and give me, I don't know, the cabinets that will never fit in any other house but ours, because do you guys know what I'm saying? Anyways, let's count this money. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, and 600. And like I said, I had stopped and got money not too recently, or more, very recently. What do you mean not too recently? Sometimes when I get talking and I start going on and on about stuff, I start to trip over my own words, and then I'm saying the wrong stuff. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to count that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because I'm famous for doing that too. I'll count it. You guys will hear me count it. You'll hear the amount, and then you'll see me write down something different. It's crazy. All right. 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 50. 850. Okay, we're doing this the old-fashioned way. Who knows where my calculator is? Maybe I threw it away. I don't know. I would feel really bad if I did that. 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 83, 20, 40, 60, 460, and a 10. All right, so 600 and 850 is going to be 1450 plus 460 plus 10. So we're looking at $1,920. Now let's get to talking about what the categories are. Oh, so here's what else I want to tell you guys. And I hope that most of you are watching long enough to hear all the updates, because then I reference back in my future videos and I feel like I spend too much time like recapping, and I don't know what you guys think, but let me know. All right, so the other updates that I wanted to do, you guys know I'm doing a $2,382 savings challenge. Is that a random number? Yeah, it really is. But it also has rhyme or reason, and it's in the budget notebook. So I'll be doing an update on that at the end of this month, and I'll be explaining it to you guys all. You can jump in at any time if you want to join me doing this challenge. The second thing is I have decided, and it's going to be a surprise, that I want to replace the flooring in my mom's condo. So it's not something she asked me to do. It's not something that she even needs me to do. I just want to do it. I want to just treat her and surprise her. And I was being so stingy with our money before my husband's retirement came through, and when I still thought we were going to be selling our house and needing every penny for a down payment on the next one. And now that things and plans are changing and they're kind of evening out and things are calming down, I'm like, you know what? That's what I want to do. I want to treat her. She has done so much for me in my life, so much for me and my husband, so much for us. I mean, she is the most giving, generous person, not just with money, with time, with everything. I love her so much. And so I just want to do that for her. So I'm going to put down Mom's flooring. And I cannot wait to surprise her with this decision. So I'm going to start saving now. I don't know if I'm going to do some kind of card at Lowe's or Home Depot. You guys know that when we did our flooring at Home Depot, we got a special where we had X amount of months for 0 interest. You don't only get that from Lowe's and Home Depot when you open the cards. You also can get that if you spend a certain amount of money. They'll give you 6 months or 12 or 18 months with 0 interest. So I'm probably going to be doing something like that just so I can have a little bit of breathing room to pay it off, but also I can pay it off early and I just don't pay any interest. And I think that's the best way to do it. Now, I know some of you out there are probably like, don't do it. Dave Ramsey hates credit card debt. But you know what? I don't follow Dave Ramsey to the T. I take a lot of his advice and influence, but I still do things my own way, the way they work for me. So budget, this is going to be my main sinking fund on this page. And that's just going to be my catch-all still, my umbrella fund. And then next, I'm going to be doing renovations, like renos and improvements. That's going to be for the house. And then I also we're going to be replacing some of our furniture. So we sold our dining room set a long time ago and we just never replaced it. We have a really small table in there. Why did I write D? I don't want to write D. I want to write furniture, not dining room. So there's a couple things that eventually I want to replace. And, you can't do everything at once, but I'm going to try to do as much as I can. And then finally, I am going to be doing, I want to use this green one, Black Friday. And if you guys have been following me for a while, you know that I used to have a Black Friday fund. And that was really handy for me because I didn't really call it a Christmas fund, even though it was for Christmas. I didn't call it that because I wanted to be able to spend the money and have it for the kickoff of the shopping season. So that's why I called it Black Friday. Let's see. And you know what? I am famous for treating myself on Black Friday as much as I treat the other people on my list. Isn't that terrible? But I'm honest with you guys. I love looking for deals for us on Black Friday. All right, so here's my handy dandy little cash holder, which I don't know why I didn't have one of these a million years ago. It is so handy. And here I'm going to get out my budgeting envelope and we're going to start to organize the money. I know we're 14 minutes in, but it's never too late. All right, So our categories, and I have to use this Sharpie. I wish I had a thinner pointed Sharpie for this, but that's okay. So we're gonna have Black Friday. All right, and then we're going to have furniture. And if you're wondering what the prints are on my envelopes, they're all different animal prints. I don't know. I had a pack of stationery, a pack of scrapbook paper a long time ago, and really cute paper set. And that's what I used to use to make envelopes. I'm going to just write Maine here because this is my Maine sinking. But we'll know what Maine means. And then I'm going to write, do I just have this many? I'm going to write Mom Flooring. I think she's going, well, first of all, she's going to say no because she doesn't want me to spend money on her ever. You know, parents are like that. They're like, no, save your money for you. That's what makes them happy. But I don't know. I can't wait. I'm very excited about that. Okay, so let's go ahead and put back $320 that I originally had in my main fund. So let's start there. Let's get that little slip out. And then I'll add a little bit more to that. So let's zoom in a little bit more. So I'm just going to say on 121, because I can't, or 122, I can't remember what date that was. I'm just putting addition, like, you know, an additional amount. 320, and that was my first savings in that, so we're at 320. And unfortunately, I don't think these pages are going to fit in these envelopes, but they are hole punched, so I mean, that's okay. But I would like it if they fit inside. They do. Oh my gosh, that is so nice. Okay, I wanted to have them inside. Are they gonna line up? Are they gonna screw up this? They're gonna stick out. That's okay. That's all right. All right, so $320, and then we'll go ahead and update that budget sheet. See, there's nothing really stopping the cash, so what's going to stop it, I guess, are the binder rings. They won't allow it to go any further. And I'm sure I will probably never take this out of the house because it doesn't seem very secure, but everything's in there, so that's awesome. All right, so Mom's Flooring. No. Yeah, let's start there. So we'll do 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 1. 20, 40, 60, 81. See, what's nice about that is any cash that I put down, so today is what? I'm just going to put 122 again. Any cash that I put down is less that I have to put on a card if I decide to do a 0% interest deal. So that's cool, right? So I might not have all the money when it comes time to do this, but I'll have a great start. So I think that is, that's a fairly good compromise when making plans for things that are expensive. So her condo is really large too. I don't think it'll be the kitchen. I think it'll be like the areas that have carpet. So like dining room, living room, kitchen, or dining room, living room, bedrooms. But if you put let me start over. Her condo is one floor, and if you put it, it's obviously it's all laid out. It's about the same. It's right under the same square footage as our house, but our house is like on 2 levels. Plus, we have a full basement. That doesn't count. And then Black Friday, I'm going to put $300 or $200. Now, why am I doing that? Because we're already into January, and I want to save at least $100 a month. So I want to put $200 for January. So at the end of, by the time Black Friday hits, I want to have $1,200. So I'm going to put in $200 today. And then that'll give us 200 to start. And I'm happy with that. So I'm gonna put $200 bills. And then in February, I'll save 100, March I'll save 100, and that'll be roughly like $50 a pay. So hopefully that offsets most of our Christmas. We really overspent this past Christmas. And, you know, I don't mind. I love giving, and I have a big family. We both do. Both my husband and I have large families, and we exchange with almost everybody. It's just kind of fun. It's what we do. Some of them are gift exchanges, you know, where you do like a game. But we buy it for all our nieces and nephews. We buy it for our parents. You know, we buy for our siblings. You know, that's just what we've always done. And it's okay because we don't have kids. So, you know, for us, I think it's okay. So for furniture, I'm going to put in $100. And I'm just writing addition in all of these. I don't know why. I think I could come up with like a better description. And what my husband and I want to do, which is kind of funny, I don't know if we're going to end up doing it, but we just kind of have this thing where we have a sectional right now and a pull-out couch in our living room. So the pull-out couch is at one end. Did I say 200? No. Hello. See, that's why I get yakking. So we decided that we want to have two recliners and one couch instead of a sectional and one couch. I don't know why. I mean, I love a sectional. I love the way it looks. It fits in the space we have in our living room perfectly, but I don't really want it. I don't really want that anymore. We just need a couch and a couple of recliners. And I think that's what will make us happy. You know, before, when we were like furnishing our house and, you know, you do all this stuff, and, you know, I do a lot of things because that's the way the room is supposed to look, or that's, you know, the way it's supposed to go. And I sometimes let my clarity get a little bit blurred. Like, what do we want? What's comfortable? You know, I mean, most of the time it's just he and I here. My nephew moved out, and I've talked about that a couple times, but yeah, so it's just the two of us most of the time, unless we have people over, and what makes us comfortable. So I'm starting to think more in those terms, and I think as I get older, you know, I start to kind of reprioritize my thoughts about that. In fact, I'm going to go back in. I'm going to put some extra money in our main fund, and then I'm going to put the rest of this in the reno fund. Even though I know ahead of time, guys, we're going to end up taking some part of a loan for that. So the sinking fund, because I didn't add anything recently, I'm going to put 122. See, I'll put the dates maybe, or I'll just keep it by month. So addition, and I'm going to put in another 100. And that'll give me 420. All right, so let's do that. So I don't know, how do you guys feel about that? Sometimes I let, I don't know, formality overshadow what I want sometimes, or comfort. I don't know. Do you guys kind of get what I'm saying? And I don't know. My outlook is just changing about things. And we don't need a big fancy house. We have a nice house. You know what I mean? So why do we need to buy another one right now? That's just, it's gratuitous. It's not necessary. So I really needed to get next to myself and, you know, just start being more pragmatic, I guess is what I'm trying to say. All right, so these are going to be the first funds into our reno fund. So 50, 100, 50, 250, 350, 450, 550, 650, 700, 20, 40, 60, 88, 20, 40, 60, 89, 20, 40, 50, $1,000 even. That's pretty good. All right, that worked out. There's going to be one more fund coming that I need to work on. All right. And that is our mortgage payoff. And I explained in my mortgage payoff video that we are going to do an aggressive plan, and I'll show that to you guys before I sign off, just in case you missed it. And we're going to do $5,400 a quarter against our mortgage. And one of you had made the comment, did I see, or did I check it out a different way, like, or if I paid it monthly, would it come down faster? And I actually did plug in the numbers, both monthly and quarterly. And quarterly, it looked like it was coming down the fastest. It made a difference, even if we paid the exact same amount, $1,800 extra a month, rather than $5,400, which is 18 times 3 per quarter. $1,800 a month will take us longer to pay off the house than the lump sum of $5,400 once every 3 months. Isn't that crazy? Same amount of money, it's a different speed. And so we're gonna stick to the quarterly plan. And I'm gonna show that to you really quickly. So those are my sinking funds right now. So before I sign off, let me make this one, and I'm gonna go get some money because we got my husband's back retirement. I'm gonna put quarterly mortgage, and I need to put $5,400 into this because our first payment for this project, this aggressive payoff, is going to be March 1st of this year. And so since my husband got his back pay, we should be able to do that easily by just taking it from there. But every single month, we're going to have to fund that with his retirement paycheck and make sure that we have a total of $5,400 at the end of every 3 months. So I'm just going to put this here because I don't have that kind of cash right now. I'll put this here. And then what I'm planning on doing is, because I bank at a different bank than our mortgage is at, I'm actually planning on taking the cash into the bank and making sure that they do the right thing and put it on principal right there in front of me and give me a receipt for that. So that's how I'm going to handle it. So really quickly, because I need to end the video because it's too long. I don't want people to be like, I'm not even going to watch that. She's talking too much, which I do. I'm guilty. Where's my mortgage payoff? What the heck? Hold on. I'm sure I put it in here because this is my book for all things budget. So it's got to be in here. It's an exciting document as far as I'm concerned because it's shaving something like, oh my gosh, 22 years off of our mortgage, this new plan. And I'm like, yeah, I'm all about that. Guys, I think it's back here. It's back here with my goals and my dreams. Is it? No. One of these days, part of this budgeting and planning channel will be to actually organize myself. Here it is. This is the amortization schedule. And as you can see, this is where we're at January 1st, 2022. And if I do $5,400 a quarter, look how our balance comes down. So these are real numbers, which I love to do because I think it makes the video make that much more sense. So we're going from 103,405 currently in January, and we'll be going down to 97,617. Let me explain how dramatic that is. When we refinanced our house for another 30 years in November of 2017, we refinanced an amount of $114,000. Since 2017 until 2022, we've gone from 114 to 103. It takes forever. As you can see, we're still at the high end of the interest. So you're always paying the bulk of your interest and the highest amounts of your interest at the beginning of your loan, and it goes down from there until this starts to be a little bit more even. And so you can see how much more quickly and speedily, our mortgage will be paid down if we stick to this plan. And that's why I feel like at this point in our lives, since I've paid off student loans, we paid off all our credit cards, we paid off the first renovations we did to our house, which was including ductwork and a double air conditioning efficiency system. It was so expensive, but it was so worth it because it really saved us a lot of money. We didn't have ductwork in our house before, so we didn't have central air. Not great for somebody with asthma, but and our dogs especially, they really struggled. So that was also a good selling feature when we go to sell the house, because before, you know, it wasn't there. And so we paid off all that money, and now I feel like we're in a good place. And I don't mean to say now we're in a good place to run up all kinds of debt. We're just in a good place to start spending, and spending wisely with intention and a plan, and making sure that, you know, whatever our plan is, it includes us having a payoff debt on paper and a plan for those payments. So that's basically it. But this was a long video, guys. I appreciate you watching, though. Thank you so much. If you haven't already subscribed, I would love if you stuck around and did so. I have so much to share with you. And if you have any questions or anything like that, please leave me a comment down below. I hope you guys are having a great week, and I will see you on my next one. Take care.